district that's...
Hey, with us now, we've got the chair of the Democratic House Caucus, Congressman Joe Crowley of New York. Congressman Crowley, so good to have you with us.
Thanks, Joe.
Let's try something different here. Instead of talking about Donald Trump, let's talk about the Democrats. The party still seems to be adrift a bit. What are your plans to get a message out there that will re-energize your base and re-energize people outside of your base, so you can be in the majority this time well, let's say late 2018?
Well, Joe, I think we have a message, and the American people will sold a raw deal. This president promised job creation, he promised growth, he promised action in Congress, and we haven't seen any of that. What we're talking about is better jobs, better pay, and a better future, and ultimately a better deal for the American people.
There?
Well, we're going to get there in the first 100 days, pass an infrastructure bill, show the American people that we're serious about putting people back to work, deal with the rising costs of college education, really tackle the issues still facing us on health care. They have done nothing in the first 200 days. We're in the third phase now, the next 300 days. They have done absolutely nothing. The one thing you can say about Democrats when we're in control, you can argue about what we did. You can't say we didn't do anything, and we're going to do things when we get back into control of the House of Representatives.
Hey, Joe, do you guys fight to reinstate Obamacare in January if you take control of the House?
Well, I think Obamacare is still there. It's still the law. What we will do, we will bolster it, or we will nurture it, we will improve it and make it even better, ensure that even more people have access to it.
It's being gutted right now by the Trump administration. We have news reports coming over the past 2 days that they're doing everything they can to undercut it. Do you try to reverse that and strengthen Obamacare?
We will do everything now to try to reverse that behavior. The president is only going to spend 1/10 of what the Obama administration spent to promote the Affordable Care Act. He's trying to kill it softly and slowly. The American people are onto what he's doing, and you can't fool all the people all the time, unfortunately, Mr. President. We're onto you. We know what you're going to try to do, and we're going to hold you accountable and your party accountable in 2018 for really diminishing the opportunity to have health care in the United States.
So, Joe, what have you guys done since last November to reverse the trend that's been going on since 2010 for 6-7 years? Democrats losing 1,000 state legislative seats. It's sort of our obsession here. We talk about Trump a lot, but also talking about the Democrats. What is your party doing different now?
Well, I think
what are you guys doing differently now that you weren't doing last November when you just got absolutely shellacked as a party?
This has been going on, Joe, prior to that. This goes back to 2010, 2012, when the Koch brothers and Republicans invested in state and local legislative races, where they've taken over state capitals around the country. I think we have like 15 Democratic governors today. We've lost 1,000
but you're not blaming that on the Koch brothers, are you?
Well, I'm blaming on our lack of a participation as well, our lack of a plan last decade when it came to reapportionment. I know that President Obama is really leading charge in terms of really focusing on the efforts in state legislative House races so that we can get back into the game in state legislatures around the country, focusing on winning gubernatorial races, the silver bullet to really help us in reapportionment in the next reapportionment period coming up in 2020 and 2022.
I know you've been asked this question before, but what does somebody like, let's say, in the Deep South or in the Midwest, what do they say to voters who say, well, we kind of like you and would like to vote for you, but your first vote's going to be Nancy Pelosi. She's a San Francisco liberal, and I just don't agree with anything that Nancy Pelosi likes. What does that candidate say to his or her voters?
I think what they say to his or her voters is that I'm about representing the people in my district. I'm about taking care of people like the people in Texas today who are suffering as a result of this hurricane, and the people in Kentucky. The people who have been sold the bill of goods about the need of less government. Here's an opportunity to show that sometimes government is a good thing. It actually can help people. And that's what they're about. All politics is local. And we have great leadership in the House of Representatives. Nancy's one of them. There's Steny Hoyer. There's myself. There are others who are rising in the ranks as well. And I think there's great days ahead for the Democratic caucus in the House of Representatives.
All right, Democratic Congressman Joe Crowley, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for coming in. I'm so sorry the table was so rough on you, but they will be kinder.
So next time, I don't know, the questions are killing me here.
Unbelievable.
Thanks, Joe.
I know. Well, it's their turn next. We wanted to get the former Republican, now independent, talking to the Democrat. Now we're going to have the table talking to Republican Congressman Scott Taylor of Virginia. He's going to answer their tough questions next. And he finds himself in a situation familiar to people like Jeff Flake. He's facing a primary challenge from the Trump wing of his party. The panel's going to be talking to him in a moment. Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.